Hello again and welcome to the BAXEDM YouTube channel, and in this video, part number 9, I'm going to show you how I make the lower stainless jaw, this section here, of the C-arc, and I'm going to install the wire rollers and the jaw itself onto the base plate. So let's get to it. Okay, I finished welding, and this was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. So making a nice looking weld, that's not too difficult. If you have a bit of practice, you can do it. But keeping a 90-degree angle, that's actually quite difficult. So I watched the videos of weldingtipsandtricks.com. Those helped a lot. So there's a specific order in which you need to weld. So first you tack a few points, then you weld the outside edge here, and then you weld the sides. And you have to weld it. You have to weld those joints such that you purposely introduce an angle outward, like so, small angle outward. And then you let it cool, and then the angle should still be there. And the angle is, what you need is about 1.6 millimeter gap at a distance of 16 centimeters from the inside corner here. So then your workpiece is more than 90 degrees. And then when you start welding the inside corner, the weld here crimps and it pulls the part back into 90 degrees. So when I finished welded the inside corner, I was still more than 90 degrees. So I put another weld bead over the first weld bead, then I was almost there, and then again a really small weld bead, and now it's exactly dead on 90 degrees. That's really difficult to do, but it turned out super nice. Now there's some discoloration here, and I'm going to electrochemically etch it such that it's nice and shiny again. So I looked into electrochemical etching online, and I found that you can buy complete electrochemical etching kits that can do the job for you, which consist of some kind of electrical box and a handheld thing that you need to brush over it. And these kits are very expensive. In Europe, the cheapest kit I could find was over 1,000 euros, which is ridiculous. So I looked into the process and found out basically what the process is all about at the core. So you need to run a high current through the weld zone, and you need to bathe the weld zone in phosphoric acid. So if you have a beefy power supply, a DC power supply that can do something like 20 amps, well, you can do with less amps as well, but then it will take longer. But if you have a beefy power supply, you hook up the positive terminal to the workpiece, and the negative terminal you hook it up to some kind of conducting brush. And I have I have a brush, which is a carbon brush, and this is one of the official brushes that they sell for these types of kits, and it's a consumable, so these are really cheap. I don't know, this was like 10 euros or something. So you dip the brush into phosphoric acid and you turn on the power supply, and then you brush the affected zone, and like magic all the discoloration disappears. And then after you're done, the phosphoric acid is nasty stuff, you need to rinse it with a solution of sodium hydroxide, which I have in this spray bottle. So you need to rinse it with a solution of sodium hydroxide, which neutralizes the acid, and then you get rid of the nasty stuff. So okay, let's get to it. We're going to turn on my power supply, and let's do this this piece here. So dipping it, and now you can stroke it. A nice sizzle. A bit of brushing here and there, and it's already gone. Really nice. Now let's do the side here. This side. A bit more acid. And then some rinsing. Oh, that's a really nice looking weld. I have to do the other side as well. Flip it over. More acid. Rinse it. Okay. I'm going to flush it under the tap. So I flushed the part under the tap. As you can see, the electrochemical etching works like a charm. It looks like new. So you don't need to buy an expensive more than €1,000 kit. Get yourself an old beefy power supply, some of the phosphoric acid and a carbon brush, and then it's easy peasy. The weld looks really nice, not bad for an amateur welder. So quite happy with that. Okay, now it's time to start some drilling and making holes in this part to finish it. Okay, the stainless lower jaw is finished. In my model I had a big hole here, and the initial idea was to feed the water line through that hole, such that the water line runs through the tubing and to the end. Actually, I think I'm not going to do that, so I left the hole out. I think I will route the power cable and the water line on the outside, and I'll use stainless clips, I think. I still have to figure out a bit. I'm gonna make it up as I go and put the details in the model later. This can be done because the wire will run on the outside of the stainless jaw here, such that there's like this whole area in which the wire never comes. So you can use that area to route cables and things like that. But now first I'm going to put some things together and yeah, see how it looks. So I mounted the lower stainless jaw, and now the C-arc for the first time actually looks like a C-arc. So I'm really happy with the progress. In case you might wonder, this part here is not part of the C-arc. It's just a fixture such that I can work easily on the assembly. This is the C-arc. So next to mounting the lower stainless jaw, I also mounted all the wire rollers. So there's one here. I mounted this one and this one and this one and this one. And I made a lot of standoffs that go in between the mounting plate or the stainless jaw and the wire rollers to give them some offset. There are also some standoffs in between, or on the inside of this tube here, such that when you really tighten down on the bolts, you don't crush the tube. And that's it. So in the next video I'm going to make the lower and upper wire contacts, and I'm going to make the brackets for mounting the exit and entry tubes. So see you next time.